Welcome to the Tech Life Well podcast. We're delighted to have you with us.
Where we make technology simple, thoughtful, and useful. For more insights and episodes, visit techlifewell.com.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It is Saturday, January 24th, 2026, and today we're looking at a project. Well, a project that every single person listening is already working on, whether they know it or not.
That's so true. It's a project that takes decades, but the deadline is non-negotiable.
We are talking about the project of future-proofing your body. And I know when we talk about fitness, the conversation usually goes straight to aesthetics.
Oh, absolutely. Getting shredded for summer, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Or, losing the quarantine 15, which was years ago now. But the research stack we have today, including a brand new evidence-based briefing, it flips that whole narrative.
Completely.
We aren't talking about how you look. We're talking about independence. We're talking about the difference between living on your own terms at 85 or needing full-time care.
It's a huge shift in mindset, and honestly a really necessary one. The briefing we're digging into, it specifically targets two groups who've frankly been ignored in the weight room for a long time.
And who are they?
Women, especially those navigating midlife and menopause, and just the aging population in general.
So our mission for this deep dive is to, cut through the noise. There's so much confusion out there. You hear lifting weights, which sounds intimidating.
And then you hear functional training, which just sounds vague.
Right. So we want to explain why these major global health organizations, the WHO, the CDC, the Menopause Society, are basically sounding an alarm. They're urgently recommending resistance training not as a hobby, but as medicine.
It really is medicine. And like any medicine, the dose and the type, they really matter. You can't just wander into a gym and expect the benefit.
So if you're listening and you think of yourself as a non-gym person, or if you think deadlifts are just for, bodybuilders with spray tans.
Yes, stick with us.
Because we're going to give you the blueprint.
Let's get into it.
Okay, section 1. Let's define our terms. The briefing makes a really clear distinction between strength training and functional movement. For most people, those are the same thing, right?
They do overlap, but they're not the same. Let's start with strength training, or, resistance training. Clinically, it's just any planned exercise where you're loading your muscles against some kind of external resistance.
So that's the what?
That's the what. It could be a dumbbell, a resistance band, even your own body weight. The goal is purely physiological. You're trying to increase muscle mass and improve what we call neuromuscular function.
Okay, hang on. Neuromuscular function.
Yeah.
That sounds like we're training the brain, not just our arms.
That is exactly what's happening. You're teaching your nervous system to fire up muscle fibers more efficiently. It's the signal from your brain to the muscle just saying, contract, harder, faster.
So that's the engine.
That's the engine of the car, yes.
But then we have functional movement. The briefing calls this the secret sauce. So why is this different from just, being strong?
Because you can be really strong on a machine, but totally useless in the real world. Think about a leg press machine. You're sitting down, you're back supported, you push a ton of weight, great, you have strong legs. But does that help you balance on an icy sidewalk while you're carrying groceries?
Probably not.
Oh.
Because the machine was doing all the stabilizing for me.
Precisely. Functional training is all about transfer. It's about choosing exercises that directly mimic the things you do every single day. They almost always involve multiple joints, and you have to stabilize yourself.
So it connects the strength to real life.
It does, and the briefing highlights these big 6 patterns, which I love because it just simplifies everything.
Let's list them because I want people to really picture these. We have the squat, the hinge, the push, the pull, the carry, and the rotate.
And just think about what those really are. A squat isn't just a gym exercise. It's getting up from a chair. It's sitting on the toilet and getting back up.
Wow. Okay. That puts it in perspective. If you lose your squat, you lose your privacy.
You do. A hinge is picking up a package off your porch without blowing out your back. A carry is. Well, it's just moving your life around. Training these patterns under load is basically rehearsing for life.
There's a little nuance in the research for older adults, though. The 65-plus crowd. They use this term multi-component activity. Sounds complicated.
It's not, really. It just means that for older adults, raw strength isn't quite enough to prevent the biggest risk, which is a fall.
Okay.
So multi-component means you're combining strength with a balance challenge.
You can give an example?
Sure. Maybe you're doing a bicep curl, but you're doing it standing on one leg. Or you're stepping over a small obstacle while carrying a lightweight. You're forcing the brain to manage balance and strength at the same time.
And that's what prevents falls in the real world.
That's it. Which brings us to the why. And I have to say, the language in this briefing it's stark. It introduces this villain in the story called sarcopenia.
That sounds terrifying.
It kind of is. It literally means poverty of flesh.
Oh, that's grim.
It's the age-related involuntary loss of your muscle mass and strength. And here's the thing. It starts way earlier than you think. After age 30, if you're not actively fighting it, you can lose 3 to 5% of your muscle mass every decade.
So it's like a slow leak. You don't notice it year to year. You just feel like, oh, I'm getting older. And then one day you can't open a jar.
Exactly. And it's a cascade. This is what the National Institute on Aging data shows so clearly. It's not just that your arms get smaller, your metabolism slows down, your insulin sensitivity gets worse. But the big one, you lose mobility.
And when mobility goes, your world just shrinks.
It shrinks.
Yeah.
And that frailty is the gateway to losing your independence. The research is crystal clear. Strength training is the only real break we have for this. You cannot walk your way out of sarcopenia.
Speaking of that, we have to get into the deep dive on women's health in this briefing because we tend to lump aging into one big category. But for women, menopause is a whole different biological story.
A massive piece of the puzzle that was just ignored for decades in exercise science. Menopause isn't just hot flashes. The briefing calls it a period of rapid hormonal change that basically alters the body's entire architecture.
And it's the estrogen drop, right?
It is. We think of estrogen as just a reproductive hormone, but it's also a powerful protector. It helps maintain muscle, and critically, it puts the brakes on bone breakdown. It's a shield.
So when estrogen levels plummet during menopause, the shield is gone.
The guardrails come down, the rate of bone density loss it accelerates dramatically. Your ability to hold on to muscle gets harder. This is why you see groups like the Menopause Society and the Endocrine Society practically shouting in this briefing.
And they're not suggesting gentle yoga.
No, they are prescribing heavy resistance training and high protein intake. They're saying you have to create a mechanical signal to replace the hormonal signal you've lost. You have to yell at your bones and muscles, hey, we still need you.
Which brings us to the skeleton. Osteoporosis. I think when most people hear bone health, they think calcium, drink more milk.
Calcium is the brick. But you need a construction worker to lay the brick. Strength training is the construction worker.
So how does lifting a weight actually help my hip bone? The briefing cites review showing it mitigates bone mineral density loss.
It's a principle called Wolff's Law. Your bone is living tissue. When you lift something heavy, your muscle pulls on the tendon, which pulls on the bone. That force creates a tiny microscopic bend in the bone.
That sounds like a bad thing.
You don't feel it, but your bone cells do. They sense that stress, and they respond by laying down more bone matrix to make the structure stronger. It's like reinforcing a bridge.
And the briefing calls out the lumbar spine and the hip.
The two places you absolutely do not want to fracture in old age, and they're both responsive to this kind of loading.
So by doing a deadlift safely, you're essentially armor plating your hips.
You are future-proofing your skeleton against gravity.
Okay. We've laid out the science. We know the villain is sarcopenia. The stakes are independence. Now I want to play devil's advocate.
Go for it.
Myth number 1. I'm active. I walk my dog for 45 minutes every single morning. I get my 10,000 steps. Surely that's enough.
This is the biggest myth out there, and I want to be clear, walking is fantastic. Great for your heart, your head, your blood sugar. Please do not stop walking. But if you look at the official guidelines from the World Health Organization and the CDC, the answer is a hard no. It is not enough.
What's missing from the walk?
It's aerobic. It just doesn't provide enough of a stimulus to stop muscle loss or build bone. Your body is really efficient at walking, so the guidelines are clear. You need 150 minutes of aerobic activity, yes, but you also need muscle strengthening activities on 2 or more days per week.
That 2 days, that's the missing piece for most people.
It's the magic number. And for the 65-plus crowd, remember, it actually goes up to 3 or more days of that multi-component activity because the fall risk is so much higher.
Okay, myth number 2. This is a big one. It's dangerous. If I try to squat at 70, I'm going to throw my back out.
It's a valid fear, I get it, but the data just doesn't support it. The National Strength and Conditioning Association has looked at this extensively. Resistance training is incredibly safe for older adults if, and this is the important part, the technique is good and the progression is gradual.
So you don't go from 0 to hero on day 1.
Exactly, but let's flip the script. What's the risk of not training? The risk of frailty. The risk of stepping off a curb, falling, and breaking a hip. Statistically, the danger of being inactive is so much higher than the danger of a controlled, well-taught squat.
That's a powerful way to think about it. The sofa is the real danger zone.
The sofa is the slow killer.
Final myth. It's just vanity, I don't want to get bulky, or I'm 60, I don't care about having big biceps.
This takes us right back to functional capacity. The sources we're looking at, they're not talking about aesthetics at all. They're linking this to a reduced risk of chronic diseases. But on a more immediate level, just ask yourself this. Can you get up from a low chair without using your hands?
The get-up test.
It is. Can you lift your suitcase into the overhead bin? Can you carry all the groceries in from the car in one trip?
Those are the metrics that actually matter in life.
That's it. It's not about how you look, it's about how you move through the world, with confidence or with limitation.
I love that. Okay, let's pivot to the how-to. We've convinced people they want to start, but that weight room can be intimidating. The briefing breaks this down by life stages, which is really helpful.
Yeah, let's walk through it. So 20s and 30s.
The invincible years.
Right, where you can get away with anything. This is your accumulation phase. You're trying to build the biggest physiological bank account you can. Your goal is to master those patterns. Squat, hinge, push, pull. Build your peak bone mass.
So you're saving for retirement, but with bone and muscle.
Precisely. Then we move into the 40s and 50s. This is the big pivot point, especially for women in that peri- and postmenopause window.
The goal changes here.
It shifts to protection. You are fighting to preserve what you've built during that hormonal storm. Consistency here is everything, and this is where you need to start adding specific balance work.
And the briefing mentions getting a coach.
Yes. If you're in this bracket, maybe you have risk factors for osteoporosis and you have never lifted before. Please do not just use a YouTube video. Invest in a professional, even for just a few sessions, to learn how to do things correctly.
And then the 60s and beyond.
The goal now is simple: independence. The plan becomes multi-component strength plus balance. The tempo might slow down a bit. We care more about control, but we're still challenging the body. We are not treating it like it's made of glass.
And success looks different. It's not a number on the scale, it's improved chair standability.
I love that metric. Or success is playing on the floor with your grandkids and being able to get back up without grabbing onto the sofa. That's a real win.
We have to put a giant safety sticker on this whole conversation, though.
Absolutely huge.
The term is progressive loading. What does that mean in simple terms?
It just means start where you are, not where you think you should be. If you've never squatted, you start by just sitting down and standing up from a chair. Once that's easy, maybe you hold a book. Then a lightweight. You earn the right to go heavier.
And the medical disclaimer.
If you have known osteoporosis, a history of fractures, or any cardiovascular issues, you have to get clearance from a professional. The goal is safe, gradual progress. Always.
So to boil this entire deep dive down, all these pages of research, all these guidelines, what's the one thing people need to remember?
The golden rule is simple. 2 days.
Just 2 days a week.
2 days a week. You cannot skip the strength work. Walk, hike, dance, garden, that's all wonderful. But for 30 to 45 minutes, twice a week, you need to pick up something challenging and put it back down.
It's such a small investment, isn't it?
Yeah.
90 minutes a week for maybe an extra decade of independence.
It's the best return on investment in all of medicine.
Which brings me to the final thought I want to leave everyone with. You said earlier we need to reframe this.
We really do. We treat exercise like it's a punishment for eating or just another chore to check off the list. But all this research is telling us we need to view resistance training as medicine.
A prescription.
A non-negotiable prescription. I mean, think about it like this. If I told you there was a pill, a scientifically proven pill that would preserve your bones, keep your metabolism strong, prevent falls, and all but guarantee you could live independently for an extra 10 years, would you take it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Everyone would line up for it.
Resistance training is that pill. It just takes a little more effort to swallow. But the side effects are confidence, capability, and autonomy.
That is a powerful place to leave it. It's not about the gym. It's about the life that the gym lets you live.
That's it, exactly.
Thank you so much for breaking all this down. And to you listening, my challenge is this. Try a hinge or a carry this week. Next time you pick up a bag of groceries, just think about your form for a second. Your future self will thank you. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.